Review of the FBI's handling of intelligence information related to the September 11 attacks. Chapter 3, Section F, the New York Field Office's investigation. On August 29, 2001, the FBI's New York Field Office opened a full field intelligence investigation to locate Khalid al-Mihdhar. The investigation was assigned to a special agent who we call Richard in this report. However, Richard's real name is Robert Fuller. Richard was a relatively inexperienced agent who had recently been transferred to the bin Laden squad. This was Richard's first intelligence investigation. On August 29th, Donna, also known as Dina Corsi, received Khalid al-Mihdhar's visa application from the U.S. consulate in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. The application indicated that Khalid al-Mihdhar planned to travel as a tourist to the United States on July 1, 2001, for a purported month-long stay. On the application, al-Mihdhar falsely claimed that he had not previously applied for a U.S. non-immigrant visa or had been inside the United States. On August 30, 2001, Donna sent an email to Richard. After a paragraph introducing herself, Donna advised she was attaching Khalid al-Mihdhar's visa application form, which included al-Mihdhar's photograph, and that she would be faxing the remaining documents. Donna stated that she would send a couple of pages from the Attorney General guidelines which apply to your case, and then she would mail the documents. Richard told the Office of the Inspector General that on August 30th, he received a telephone call from Donna in reference to the investigation. He said that Donna said the goal of the intelligence investigation was to locate and identify Khalid al-Mihdhar for a potential interview. According to Richard, Donna did not indicate the investigation was an emergency or identify any other exigent circumstance. On August 30th, the CIA sent the Central Intelligence Report to the FBI outlining the identification of Khalid, also known as Walid bin Attash, from one of the Kuala Lumpur surveillance photographs in January 2001 by the source. The first line of the text stated the information should be passed to Rob. The CIA cable stated the FBI should advise the CIA if the FBI did not have the Kuala Lumpur photographs, so they may be provided. This is the first record documenting that the source's identification of Khalid in the Kuala Lumpur photographs was provided by the CIA to the FBI. Richard told the Office of the Inspector General that he began to work on locating Khalid al-Mihdhar on September 4th. He stated that he had received the assignment on Thursday, August 30th, but he worked all weekend and Monday on another exigent investigation matter involving a Canadian hijacking. As a result, he said he did not have the opportunity to begin work on Khalid al-Mihdhar investigation until Tuesday, September 4th. On September 4th, Richard completed a lookout request for the INS, identifying Khalid al-Mihdhar as a potential witness in a terrorist investigation. Due to his unfamiliarity with completing the lookout form, Richard contacted an INS special agent who was assigned to the FBI's Joint Terrorism Task Force in New York. We call this special agent Patrick. The INS lookout form has a box indicating whether the individual was wanted for security, terrorism reasons. Richard did not check this box. He said that he thought Patrick told him to identify the subject on the form as a witness, not a potential terrorist, to prevent overzealous immigration officials from overreacting. By contrast, Patrick, who was assigned to the JTTF since September 1996, told us that he did not provide this advice to Richard, and he has always checked the security terrorism box whenever he completed the lookout form for a potential witness in a terrorism investigation. However, Richard asked Patrick to review the lookout request form for completeness, and Patrick sent the form to INS inspectors for inclusion in the INS lookout system without making any changes. During his initial interview at the Office of the Inspector General, Richard asserted that he also asked Patrick to review and explain Al-Midhar's travel documents, including the INS indices, printouts, and the visa application. In a follow-up interview, Richard said he could not definitively recall whether he had actually provided the pre-dedicating materials to Patrick or whether he had merely had Patrick review the INS lookout request form. Patrick told the Office of the Inspector General that he recalled this request because it was the first one from Richard and because of Khalid al-Midhar's subsequent involvement in the September 11 attacks. Patrick stated that he had not reviewed the predicating materials, but had only checked the request form for completeness. He added that if he had been shown any of the predicating materials on Khalid al-Midhar's travel, the review would only have been cursory. Patrick and Richard both acknowledged that they did not notice the false statements on al-Midhar's visa application. Richard also contacted a U.S. Customs Service representative assigned to the JTTF and verified that a TECS lookout was in place for Khalid al-Midhar. Richard concluded other administrative tasks, such as uploading the initial information about al-Midhar into ACS. On September 4th, Richard requested a local criminal history check on al-Midhar through the New York City Police Department. Richard told the Office of the Inspector General that he initially focused on al-Midhar since he was captioned as the subject of the investigation into predicating electronic cable. After reviewing the electronic cable several times, Richard noted the connection to al-Hazmi. So he conducted the same record checks on Nawaf al-Hazmi as he did on al-Midhar. On September 5th, Richard requested an NCIC criminal history check, credit checks, and motor vehicle records be searched in reference to both Khalid al-Midhar and Nawaf al-Hazmi. On September 5th, Richard and another JTTF agent contacted the loss prevention personnel for the New York area Marriott hotels, since al-Midhar had indicated when he entered the United States in July 2001 that his destination was the Marriott Hotel in New York. Richard learned that Khalid al-Midhar had not registered as a guest at 6 New York City Marriotts. Richard stated he also conducted choice point searches on Nawaf al-Hazmi and Khalid al-Midhar. Richard said he recalled he had another JTTF officer assist him with the searches because he was not familiar with the system. Richard did not locate any records on either al-Hazmi or al-Midhar in choice point. Richard told the Office of the Inspector General that it was not uncommon to find a record because of variations in spelling of names or other identifying information. Al-Hazmi and al-Midhar had traveled to Los Angeles, California on January 1st, 2000, via United Airlines, and INS records indicated that they claimed to be destined for a Sheraton hotel in Los Angeles. Therefore, on September 10, 2001, Richard drafted an investigative lead for the FBI Los Angeles field office. He asked that office to request a search of the Sheraton hotel records concerning any stays by Nawaf al-Hazmi and Khalid al-Midhar in early 2000. He also requested that the Los Angeles office check United Airlines and Lufthansa Airlines records for any payment or other information concerning al-Midhar and al-Hazmi. However, the lead was not transmitted to Los Angeles FBI office until the next day, which was September 11th, 2001. By the morning of September 11th, when the American Airlines Flight 77 had al-Midhar and al-Hazmi hijacked and crashed into the Pentagon, Richard had not uncovered any information regarding Khalid al-Midhar's or Nawaf al-Hazmi's location in the United States.